Welcome everybody, this is tractorchute here. We had a day off, so why not get this baby going with a good old 3 to 4 games today as I'm off nice and early. Had a nice 5 a.m. shift, don't get many morning shifts. So I'm going to take advantage of this baby, and we're going to start this off with our venture to GrandMaster. With the man we've been following, it is Nexius, playing as his standard Protoss in the upper right-hand corner. In the lower left-hand corner, as the blue Zerg, it will be a very strong metal, Mr. Titanium. Should have some stone skin for this one. Let's get this baby going with the standard pylon going down for Nexius. He's going to get that scout going off nice and early here. In the meantime, we will chrono boost out some good old probes, I would have to imagine. At the other end, we are droning up pretty darn nicely here. Taking a look at it here, we do not have any sort of early pool. No cheese going to happen in this one as far as we can see. Overlord will scout across the map as well. Nexius making his way slowly down there, basically looking to see the timing of the pool, see whether or not it's going to be hatched first. I would have to imagine that's the mentality as he moves his way down here. And we are really droning up at the other end here. So going big on the drones. Down on the other end there, sitting out a bunch of probes he is. Obviously with the pylon on the low ground, maybe look to put down the expansion nice and early there. There he goes. He scouts all around the back of the base there. Very well done. Sees that there is no spawning pool. Spawning pool does go down at the 13 mark. Fairly standard. So not looking at hatch first by no means here. Nexius will see that, and that will give him the intel he was looking for with his nice early scout. At the other end here, he is going to back and forth this baby. Realized it was an early spawning pool, so we'll probably get down the nice early expansion. Very well done there. Nice macro heavy game. He's going to sit down there and do the good old patrol points, quite possibly to delay the hatchery once he does choose to go down there, which he is right now here. So there we go. He will attack that probe, try and chase him right out of that base here, trying to get the hatchery down. Very good delay we are seeing so far here. Nice little bit of micro there. Oh, almost had a chance there. Didn't quite work out. Nexius looking pretty darn good here. This is how you delay expansion right here. Right to the T. Take notes, kids. This is the man at his best here. So has delayed this for quite a while now, actually. Quite impressed here. In the meantime, he has got the Nexus going down at his end here. So he's looking pretty good here. This is really starting to annoy his opponent here. In the meantime, the opponent is getting out some dogs, I would have to imagine. So the dogs will come down here. And hatchery goes down. Nexius has done his job. Does put him a little bit ahead as his Nexus is about a third of the way done at this point. And we'll get the standard wall off. Forge first, of course. Does want to get those cannons down right in behind this nice wall as he is placing that down there. Up here he's up to 15 probes, so looking pretty good there. Has a warp gate or a gateway coming down as well here. And we will stand there as the Overlord slowly gets up here. So Overlord will get his scout off. Does see that Nexius has got the expansion out. Has a few dogs coming down. They shouldn't be able to do a whole heck of a lot as that wall is pretty much finished up there. So they'll head down there to at least get a little bit more scouting. Another Overlord heading up to the upper area of the map here. So he will get in that side of the map. Or that side of the base, sorry. And it does look like we are going to send out a drone as well. I'm not too sure what he's looking. Is he looking very macro heavy? Does look like he's going to put his third hatch down, so we'll have 2 expansions out. Nexius gets the full wall off there. Cannons are going down as well. Don't believe these dogs are going to be able to do enough damage before that cannon gets out here. So very well done there. And take a look over here. He is finally getting his gas. Very well done there. Opponent still no gas as of yet, but does have the 1 queen out there. And essentially nothing else as far as this goes here. So he does finally actually gets a pylon kill. Quite impressed there, but Nexius, of course, being the man of the game here, does put down the good old gateway there to wall that off here. I think that was a gateway anyways. Don't recall what I clicked on. And it is a cyber core going down. Does end up rebuilding to a cyber core. And as the cannon down, so that will at least keep these dogs out. Dogs are going to sit down there in the meantime at the bottom of the base, so they can choose to go up and down and scout as they please there. So we're at chrono boosted fuel. Got the second gas down as well. Not mining off it as of yet. Definitely wants to get his mineral count up nice and early. In the meantime, the opponent is doing a good old drone transfer. Very well done there. Leaves 19 on the main base. Puts 7 down at the expansion. Very well done, my good man. Up here it does look like we have a few mining anyways there. Didn't do any sort of probe transfer by no means. He has 16 on the main base. Very good count up there. And he has 3 on the second gas as well. Third hatchery is slowly finishing up there. Slowly see what technology we're going to get into. Warp gate technology is coming down. Creep spread going down at the other end as well. So very well done by the opponent. Do like to see creep spread. Shows very good integrity, my good man. So he's getting himself out a second queen at the expansion there. So very well done. That will leave him with 3 queens. Assuming that second queen will either go over to the third or we'll use him for creep spread as well there. So he does have a couple extractors going down finally at about the 6-minute mark. So definitely not getting into a very gas heavy build. Outside of that there, it does look like 1 probe's trying to get across the map for some scouting. Dogs are trying to chase it. He does not have metabolic boosts going. As you can see, probes are pretty goddamn fast. Wow! I do apologize for my My bad use of words there. Don't like to use the word God in profanity, so I do apologize for that. And there we go. Does end up killing that probe, and we'll get out of there. But he does realize that there is a third down, so that probe has done its job and tells Nexius exactly where he sits in this game macro-wise. So does go for the nice early Stargate. Usually Stargate right into a Stargate is a pretty standard build against any Zerg. You'll always see them usually go 1 or 2 gate into a Stargate. So definitely very helpful there. Might look to get out a nice early Void Ray or possibly an Oracle. So it does like a Warp Gate technology, slowly finishing up. Zealot is standing there doing his job, and Creep Spread has started to move on to the lower ground. So looking pretty good by Titanium. In the meantime, there hasn't teched up. Oh, he has to. There you go. Roaches is going to be his choice. So he's going to start off with a nice little Roach build. Still no sign of any sort of layer technology. Is currently spitting out all of his larva injects, so very well done there. And there he goes. The queen does end up going over to the third as well, leaving the one over here for the creep spread job. So doing a very good job so far. I will say Titanium, both these guys looking good nice and early here. Are going to get down both the gases at the expansion to mine them out as well, so very well done there. It does look like Phoenix is actually going to be his choice. There you go, he proved me wrong. It's not going to be an Oracle or a Void. Mr. Nexius is always on the ball here, always has some sort of surprise for us here. So we will get out the early double Phoenixes, possibly to go around, get a couple Overlord kills, keep a little bit of vision, keep a little bit of map control, and we are going to go right into a Robo facility. So I kind of like this build actually. Basic gateway into a Stargate into a Robo, not too shabby. I'm kind of curious what he's going to do. I'm going to have to assume we're probably going to see some Colossi play out of him quite possibly, or might look to get into Immortals depending on how many roaches he sees. So he's going to head down the other end and find out exactly what his opponent's planning. He's looking for Overlords right now, as you can see him zigzag his way down through the bottom of the map there. And right through into the middle as well. So very well done there. Very good use of the Phoenix. Phoenixes are very underutilized a lot of times there. Does end up putting the warp gates out there, so has 4 gate now. So very well done there. So we got 4 gate into a Robo. I missed the 3 gate up top right there. So 4 gate into a Robo. You need a couple more sentries out there for force fields. Creep Shred is looking pretty damn good. I will say that much here, as he is almost halfway across the map there. There's the 4 dogs. There's the Phoenixes over here. They're going to make their way out and see what kind of damage they can end up doing here. Just kind of curious, did one of them end up actually getting that kill? No, actually none of them got a kill. Where did he put his Overlords? Must have hit his Overlords good. There he is, way up there. Okay, very good hiding spot. But 4 Phoenixes on the map here. Might be able to go pick up a queen, possibly get a kill out of this here. He is going to make that attempt here, as he will realize that his opponent is getting a macro hatch and is getting down a couple spore crawlers and is actually going to go to Roach Hydra, it looks like here, but he's got a lot of spore crawlers. Very good placement of the spore crawlers. Really wants that queen kill. Gets the Phoenixes in perfect position for it here. Very good positioning by the Phoenix to avoid that spore crawl there. Gets an Overlord kill at the same time here. Very well done so far by Nexius. Gets 2 Overlord kills and actually didn't lose 1 Phoenix. Very impressive so far. But now he does realize, as he did see the Hydra list then, that he is up against Roach Hydra, so you can't expect a second Robo Bay to go down, I would have to imagine here. He's getting 1 Immortal down. I would have to imagine he's going to get into somewhat of a heavy Colossi game here against Roach Hydra, and you can see he is getting the Robo support bay as well. There have upgrades coming out of his Yin Yang here, all for the roaches as well as the ranged attack, so looking pretty good. Has 2 Hydralisks on the field, got his Phoenixes sitting here. They're going to look to go over to the third, see what kind of damage they can do. 1 spore crawler is down at third, so we'll have some sort of defense, but just out of the range of the one, but not the second one, so the second spore crawler is going to go to work. Might end up getting a Phoenix kill out of this. Going to pick him up one more time just to finish him off here. Oh, it doesn't quite. There we go. Very well done there. Infestation, but wow, he is teching fast. This is very impressive by Titanium. Right into the infestation pit. So looking to tech out right away here if he needs to do so. Does have the hive technology going down as well, I do believe so. Or is that layer technology? It does look like hive technology is coming out of there. So very well done there. Looking pretty good. That is a very quick one there. Only 12 minutes in and pretty much got the hive technology out. We are working on 6 gate now. And in the meantime there, he does have the no second Robo. A little bit surprising. He does have his Blink Stalkers coming out here, so has the Twilight Council down. Is getting upgrades as well. Got his Ground Weapon level 2 coming as well. Opponent's still on 1-1-1, getting all his upgrades and a Spire. Wowzer, he is going pretty much every tech. He's got all sorts of options, so he could really go for anything here. He's got the double Evo Chambers working as well, so looking pretty good there. Won't be too surprised if we don't see any sort of Ultralisk in this game. Not entirely sure what he wants to do. He's really got the option of anything at this point. He's got a lot of Hydras on the field. Just make sure they can keep control of these Phoenixes that are all over the place. 4 more Phoenixes are going to come down here. Does get the 4th base as well. So hopefully the Phoenixes scout that. They realize that they do have the 4th out, but at the same time he does have his 3rd, so he's not too worried really how many bases our Zerg player has here, because he's going to be looking pretty good. Any Protoss player on 3 bases is very impressive, and it's usually something that's going to stay ahead of any sort of Zerg player, or at least be even with them at the very worst. In the meantime there, Hydralists have moved this out down there. We are getting a little bit of a drone transfer. If we pull up the good old units tab, you did see Thermal Lance was coming down as well here. So he's going to come up here and be uncontested other than the Spore Cores that are sitting up there. He's going to pick up one more queen, but of course that Spore Core is in beautiful position there. We'll end up going to work here. Don't know if he's going to have enough to kill his queen off. It's going to be very, very close. He is out of range now. Very good positioning there. So we'll get the queen kill. Very well done. Of course, did spot the Spires, so he knows he could see some mutas on the field as well here. If we take a look, we do have the 13 Hydralists with only the 3 dogs, but we are starting to build up at the other end here. We have a Colossi, 2 Immortals. We also have a Warp Prism as well, so we might be looking to do a drop here. And also has the 3 Phoenixes on the map with the good old what was the word I'm looking for? 1 Warp Prism and 4 sentries there. So he is going to come down here, so he might look to be doing a warp in, obviously. He doesn't have any units inside of there. Could drop in right here and have quite a bit of time actually to get some kills here as the army is out of position. But look at the macro heavy game. Wowzer. Getting his 5th base up here. Titanium getting greedy early here. This is actually very well done by Titanium. I will say at the 15-minute mark to have 5 bases, you're looking pretty darn good there. But in the meantime, Nexius is not looking too shabby himself. If we go and try and find our Warp Prism here, where did he end up here? He actually ended up over here, so he's looking to do a little bit of warp in here. Might be looking to go possibly into Darkies maybe. Darkies are very good, especially in mid to late game for harassment on Zerg players. Also has 4 more gateways there, looking to go into warp gate technology any point in time here. Has a few dogs there. He's got the metabolic boost, so look pretty good there. They got the good old wings. In the meantime there, he's making sure he's got lots of Spine Crush to defend his base. There's the Warpin. It will of course be the Darkies as expected here, so this is going to get pretty interesting here. Dark Templars are going to move their way across the map here and see what kind of damage they can do as he's got them all picked up there. Basically looking to macro up a bit, as you can see him building over here. Going very heavy on the gateways. That is a shit ton of gateways. Holy wowzer! Mr. Nexius, you are getting pretty damn serious here. In the meantime there, I would have to imagine we're going to start moving out here, and there we go. It is time to get that baby going. We're going to go see what kind of harassment we can get going here. He's got Phoenixes going the other end. Very good micro of his units here, back and forth on each end of the map here, so very well done there. He's going to make his way over there. He will see that there is another base up there and see how greedy his opponent is getting here. So he's going to look to drop in here. He does have the Spore Cores in there, and yeah, that's probably the quickest you'll ever see 4 Darkies go down. That's for darn sure. Wowzer. Probably puts a little bit of anger into Nexius here, as that kind of sucks when you lose a full one there. But his opponent, in the meantime, is almost ready to move out, as he is sitting in the middle of the map here. Phoenixes continue to fly around here, see what they can see. He's got a pretty good compilation here between the Corruptors, Roaches, and the Hydras he's got going here. Very good build. Like I say, he's got choices of basically anything here. If he does choose to get into anything else, go into Brood Lords, anything like that, he'll be looking pretty darn good. In the meantime there, Nexius is flying around with his Phoenixes here. Up here, it does look like we are getting a Z-Lot move in, so they're going to move over here, going to force the army to come over here. Darkies in there. Oh, he sees it. Very good vision by Titanium. I will say that. You seen the cancel right away, as he did see the Darkie get in there. Darkies will take down building objects very quickly here. Oh, he might have turned that army around. Maybe didn't realize the rest of the Z-Lots were coming in here. And here we go. Might actually take this base as a loss. Doesn't want to get up there. Not entirely too sure why. I think he maybe pondered the fact that Nexius might be looking to move into the main base if he happened to move his army out of position. So he does let this die, which isn't bad. I mean, he's working on 4 bases. He can afford to do so. Nexius, in the meantime, he's starting to get greedy here. 4 bases for Protoss is very, very hard to deal with. I will say that. So he's got himself on 4 bases. Opponent is still behind on food. So I must say the macro game of Nexius is impressive in this one here, to stay up on a Zerg player that's working off 4 bases there, and you can keep your food count up above his. That's very impressive. Nexius has maxed himself out. We are getting an attack over here. Are going to go to work on these spike crawlers. Should have enough to fend that off. The army's actually pulling back for this here. Not entirely sure if he's scared of this. I believe he should have enough spine crawlers to easily clean this up. Of course, he had the vision to take out the Darkies as well there. So we are now have ourselves quite a compilation. Let's go through it. 4 sentries, 4 voids, 20 stalkers, 5 colossi, 2 immortals, and 1 Z-Lot. Our opponent's sitting on 3 dogs, 19 hydras, 8 roaches, 16 corruptors. So really got the air control here, that's for sure. So he's going to move his way in there. Definitely going to negate those 4 void rays that are on the map here. So he's obviously going to go look to take out the 3rd or 4th first, I would have to imagine. Yes, he is. So he's going to head right up here. Should easily be able to clean this up here. Not too sure if Nexius wants to engage this or possibly take this as a loss. Oh, he does want to engage. He's actually going to come in from behind here. So might be looking pretty good here. If we take that out of the way here, you will see what's going to happen. It does look like we are going to bring the stalkers in. And here, now he's going to find out the compilation that Nexius has built up here. He's going to get the corruptor, try and get him in the front there, but he is actually going to back off. He's forced to back out almost there, as that is a lot of stalkers to deal with there. Good blink. Very well done there. Now he's going to get a full engagement happening here. Corruptor's going to try and take down those colossi as best they can. Voids, of course, are going to definitely help out in there. Might end up winning this battle here. It's going to be very, very close. Don't know if the Voids are going to be enough to take out the Corruptors. It looks like they are, though. Very well done. We'll melt that ground army. 183 to 120, so does put a spread there, but look at how quickly he can rebuild off of 4 bases. Wilds are right back up to 182 in a heartbeat, and Nexius is going to continue moving across the map here. Take a look at his upgrades. He has 2 for ground armor, 3 for ground weapon. Very impressive on the upgrades, I will say that. Is going 1, so does have 1 upgrade for the air weapon as well. Take a look at the good old opponent's upgrade. He is already at 3-3, so very well done there, and 0-1, so very even on the upgrades these two are, so very well done by both these guys. I will say I'm impressed so far. So next he's going to make his stand right at the bottom here. He's going to try and figure out where he wants to go first. So he's going to move out forward here, see what he can find. He's got the 1 stalker right up ahead there, so he can make sure he doesn't get caught in any bad engagements he doesn't want to see. And there we go. Now we're pushing in here. He believes he can take this army out. He's got a lot of Colossi in the back there. Good blink. That's going to get quite a few more kills there, so very well done there. Oh, and it does look like he gets hit from behind. He finds out the ultras on the field. Bad positioning by Nexius here. This isn't going to work. I don't know if that's bad positioning or just pure luck that he brought the ultras in the back there, as they're easily going to clean up these Colossi, and Nexius will not have an option here, as he is trying to get him out there. It does end up with 1 left over here, but of course these stalkers, they do not like playing with ultras, I'll tell you that much. In fact, that's probably their worst enemy in this game here. They're trying to clean it up here. That's a lot to deal with though, and it does look like he will end up with good immortals in the back. That definitely helped him out here, and does clean up most of the ultras anyways here. In the meantime, the boys trying to take care of the dogs on the ground there, and he does have a couple boys to try and deal with the rest of these ultras here. Dogs will end up getting this round there to kill off the rest of them, but he actually blinks 4 of them out of there. It's very well done. Does force them to get out of there. Does have the observer there as well for vision, so he's going to try and see if he can take this out. Probably wants to take down the Spire as well there, so he can get rid of the corruptors, and that's exactly what he's going to do. So he's going to target that down here, but he wants to take out the dogs in the meantime there. More dogs continue to come in here. Wowza, that's a lot of freaking dogs. So he's bringing the dogs in left, right, and center. A little bit surprised he didn't focus down the rest of that Spire, which it was almost dead there, but doesn't quite finish it off there. In the meantime, corruptors will come in and clean up these Void Rays here. Guess they're not Phoenixes, are they? 1 Colossi still surviving. This is 1 superior Colossi, and he's in a bad position right now, and he's not going to get out of there now. Corruptors have found him. They're going to end up chasing him down here. Corruptor count is up to 2 as far as the weapons goes. And in the meantime, I did miss this. Sorry, they actually cleaned up Nexius's 4th base here, so very well done there. They're going to clean up everything they can there, and he is actually going to start pushing here as he is up on food count, and Nexius is in trouble now. But most of this food, of course, is related to dogs and corruptors here. Corruptors not being too bad, but the dogs definitely aren't going to do a whole heck of a lot. In the meantime there, we have a heavy Zealot push here. Lots of Zealots moving out here. Take a look at the good old Zealot count. We have 15 of them altogether with a couple voids on the field and 1 sentry, and of course the mothership core. I have to imagine Nexius is going to reestablish that base at some point, but in the meantime there, he's starting to move across with the dogs. He realizes Nexius is moving across the map here, is going to try and go over there and get the surround on him here. That's exactly what he's going to do. Half the Zealots will actually stay behind, so very good control of his Zealots. Half of them still behind. He should be able to finish off this before the dogs end up getting up here, so very well done there. And of course he will end up losing the rest of the Zealots on the ground there, but he gets a hatchery kill out of it, puts his opponent back on the 4 base, so very well done there. Definitely wants to keep his opponent on 4 base at the very most there. Definitely doesn't want to let him get too far ahead of that. All these Zealots should be able to clean up the rest of the dogs, but of course 1 great big Ultralisk coming in to ruin that party. They will bring in a couple. Actually will end up cleaning up Nexius quite easily here. So if we take a look here, Nexius has gone into Archons. Very smart to deal with those Ultralisks, and 5 Voids getting heavy on the air. And we do have of course our 2 Immortals, and there we go. Zealot count is getting back up there. He just has a crap ton of gateways here, so enables him to rebuild that very, very quickly here, and he's back in the lead as far as the food count goes here. And of course we do have the 2nd Stargate, are getting another Robo down as well, and getting a couple more Robos actually, so he's looking to get pretty heavy onto the Immortals, obviously to deal with the Ultralisk as well here. So we are going to sit back for a little bit, take a look at Nexius' count. He is 1 on the shield and 1 on the weapon. Meanwhile, he's 3-3 and 1, or 3-1 and 3 if you want to do it in order for upgrades as far as the ground unit goes. But now, of course, we have the 5-1. Only 1 for the melee, of course. He wasn't upgrading the melee early, but now he's loving the Ultralisk here. 7 Ultralisks on the field, 9 Corruptors on the field. Very hard army to deal with here. But I'm pretty confident Nexius has got this figured out here, as he is now building up his 4th again here. He'll get himself down. Also, a couple more gateways to help that out here. And of course a couple cannons as well, just to fend off any minor attacks that come up that way. So we will reestablish as well for Titanium, getting down his 5th one more time, and looking to get his 6th as well here. So very well done there, getting that macro game going. And he's going to compile himself in the middle here with his straight Corruptor / Ultralisk army here. And there we go. There's the Hallucinated Phoenix. Found out what it wanted to find, which was basically get a good count on the Ultralisk and the Corruptors, or get a good count of his army overall. So he does get that count going here. So he knows exactly what to deal with. A lot of dogs. They're more or less just to make the front line there, just to prevent anything from getting in too close to getting any shots off on his Ultras here. So very well done there. In the meantime there, it looks like we have a great big long distance mine out of them as they are waiting for their good old Nexus to finish here. And the hatchery meanwhile has finished up at this base down here for his 5th, and the 6th base is slowly finishing up as well here. So you'll see those are very hard working probes going back and forth here. There's a ton of buildings everywhere. So many production buildings. It's absolutely unbelievable coming out of Nexius here. Opponent's got every single upgrade as well. Hasn't gone into swarm hosts yet, but you might actually see that later. It wouldn't surprise me very much at all, but we'll soon find out here. It does look like banelings are actually going to be his choice. Very interesting here. So he's getting a very good compilation. Very ground heavy, I will say that much here. So actually end up, I believe they killed off an observer there, I would have to imagine. Got one more observer on the map. That observer is sitting above his army. Make sure he has a little bit of detection if needed, or a little bit of vision. 83 larvae, so very good on larva count. Wow, up to 88. So I will say titanium is no slouch. That's for darn sure. We know Nexius isn't a slouch. So both these guys are looking pretty damn good. Very even at this point. I will say that much here. Both of them, as you can see, is 199 to 189 for the army. Good Archon count. Is up to 6 Archons and 6 Immortals. So he's got his ground heavy army here. And of course, he's got all them Void Rays to help deal with those Corruptors here. And if they can deal with the Corruptors, then he's going to have a very dominating performance here. But we'll soon find out, because that is a heavy Corruptor count here. They're falling back out here, trying to get in there. Too many Banelings. Nexius does not like this engagement at all. There's way too many Banelings to deal with there. Does get the time warp down. Is trying to do as much as he can. I don't know if this battle is going to go overly well for him, but he's trying to take out as many Ultras as he can. He's got that... oh no, yeah, oh, very, very, very good. Has the prismatic alignment, I was going to say there. Does end up using the mass recall. So that pretty much saved his tush there. He will get one more kill on the Ultra, so very well done there. In the meantime, he is left with a whole bunch of Corruptors just sitting there with nowhere to go. But very, very, very good use of that mass recall. Because I can say if he didn't do that, might have been in a little bit of trouble, especially with that mass amount of Corruptors here. As you can see, he's down 2 Corruptors and Dogs now. So Nexius did come out. I will say he probably came out ahead in that one. I would have to give one for that. But the opponent in the meantime has got that creep spread basically 3/4 across the map here. So looking really good as far as creep spread goes. These probes have been lonely for a little while. They're not entirely too sure what to do. They need a boss probe to tell them what to do. Come on, boss probe. Tell them where to go. Tell them where to expand. Does look like he's probably going to expand down here. And that's exactly what he's doing. As you can see, he's going to head his way down here. So very well done there. All these guys have pretty much every single expansion except for one left on the map here. Once this one gets taken up. And he will move himself up here, try and take out this base here. But this base has the army here, so we'll come into another great big engagement. As it does have the Archons in the background. They're trying to try and get in there. There's the prismatic alignment. They're going to try and do as much damage as they can. Try and clean up those Corruptors. That is a lot of Corruptors to deal with here. Down to 8 Corruptors. But in the meantime, there, that ground army is taking care of business. Wowzer, that's a lot of Immortals and Archons there. They are doing their job, and they're doing a pretty damn good job. They're going to now push their way in here, and when you have an army of Corruptors, few Banelings getting in, they're not even going to get shots off here. Few more Dogs, they're going to try and finish off the rest of these Corruptors. That's exactly what they're going to do. 128 to 87, looking pretty good. Takes out a big chunk of that army. Going to look at taking this base out here. Looking pretty good. That's enough for Titanium. Wowzer, that was impressive. I will say that much. I give you my congrats, Nexius. My condolences to you, Titanium. I will leave you with this. If you can't take the heat, don't cook my pancakes. You be good. Don't hurt nobody. Peace.